Just a reminder before today's programme that if you haven't seen the first instalment of Weird Who, it can still be viewed as we entered the world of the gay Daleks. Also, please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support helps keep AMTV running and the programmes you enjoy coming to your screens. For more information, visit patreon.com/Adam Martyn AMTV. And now, here on AMTV, time for the next instalment of Weird Who, and this time, did the Doctor say a bad word? The following programme is rated 12. It is intended for audiences 12 and above. There are some instances of strong language. Hey there, hey you, yes, you, yes, you! Do you like Doctor Who? Do you like the weird side of Doctor Who?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I hope you do, because here we are, my friends. It's about
To get weird.
Hi guys, my name's Adam Martyn and welcome back to another instalment of Weird Who. Last episode, I didn't technically say Weird Who, but I've decided to make it a series. So in that first episode, we looked at the legend that is the gay Daleks.
They're camp, they exterminate, and watch your backs. It's the gay Daleks.
You vicious old queen.
You vicious old queen.
But in this installment, I wanted to show you something a little bit different. So cast your mind all the way back to 1981. In the Doctor Who realm, what's going on? Well, in March, Tom Baker finally gave up his 7-year stint and handed over to Peter Davison, who would take another 9 months to appear because, you know, we just had to wait a long time back then. But also other Doctors were keeping busy. Jon Pertwee, for example, actually reprised his role as the third Doctor in, would you believe it, a corporate video. And no, fans, it's not the Vodafone one. We'll save that for another time. This was actually for ZANUSSI, and it's only really come to light as of the last year. I mean, the TV Museum uploaded this video about 8 months ago at the time of this recording, and let me tell you, it's quite something. So sit back, grab your sonic screwdrivers. I'm going to put a PNG of a sonic screwdriver there just so you can imagine I'm holding one. So thanks to the TV Museum, we start with some text, which for some reason reminds me of the opening of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So for dramatic effect, I'm going to read it to you now to set the spooky mood of what's to come.
In or around 1981, Jon Pertwee appeared in this corporate video. It is a rare, perhaps the only example of Pertwee in the Doctor Who character between his final regular appearance in 1974 and the 20th anniversary in 1983. But not all Doctor Who fans will enjoy it. In 1981, the corporate world was male-dominated, and corporate events, such as the one where this film was likely screened, reflected that world and the social attitudes of the time. If you've grown up with the social attitudes of recent years, you may prefer not to watch, or to turn off just before the end.
Now, before we get started, what it means when it says turn off at the end, would you believe Jon Pertwee, Doctor Who himself, says a bad word? I know, a doctor saying a bad word? Wow! And trust me, it's a pretty bad word, but you're gonna have to stick around to the end to find out what. Alright, let's find out what ZANUSSI is all about.
It's the Doctor.
Who? Who else?
From the acting quality there, you can already tell this is going to be something especially bad.
It's the Doctor.
Who?
I've just returned from ZANUSSI, and I brought back something big.
What is it, Doctor?
It's a grey brick. It's literally a grey brick.
The 5-year ZANUSSI cover takes care of all breakdowns and repair bills for the next 5 years.
Including parts and labour.
Including parts and labour.
For 5 Earth years?
Why does this woman sound like she's discovering everything for the first time?
It's the Doctor.
£11.50 for a fridge or a freezer, and £28.75 for a washing machine or a dishwasher.
£11.50 for a fridge or a freezer. That's well good money. I want to invest in.
Oh, hello there!
Oh yes, of course, inflation. Inflation is a thing.
Look at these prices.
Wow, did we all see that incredible edit? Let's watch it again.
Look at these prices.
Oh, Absolutely 10 out of 10 edit. Best editing skills ever. They made the book in the shape of the monolith brick.
Wow.
How can they do it, Doctor?
Bit risky, isn't it?
Boris, tell them how ZANUSSI does it.
Boris? Boris!
Boris.
Surely not that Boris.
Greater reliability is engineered into the appliances than competitive products. They don't have breakdown problems experienced by other manufacturers.
Why do I sound like I've been down the pub, work on the set of EastEnders, and have nicked about 20 cigarettes in the space of 10 minutes?
What is this 80s robot? You know, for 1981, I'm actually quite impressed at this robot, and obviously ZANUSSI really wanted to show off by spending a lot of money on this very primitive being, this faceless, emotionless being with the voice that sounds like an 80s version of Phil Mitchell.
I'll show you a good time.
It's kind of like that 80s robot from the Muppets movie, don't you think?
Not now, 80s robot.
Might I offer you a drink?
Watch out for
Gag
the...
me with a spoon.
And what's in it for the trade, Doctor?
Now, that's the biggest thing to hit white goods in years, which means more sales for ZANUSSI dealers.
You can tell Jon Pertwee's just sort of like going through the motions with this. Yes, it's technically in his character of the Doctor, but there are points in this where, to be honest, he just seems really bored.
Exactly.
Like he is literally just doing this for the paycheck and nothing else.
Ah, right again.
I knew it!
Tell us, Doctor, how is ZANUSSI going to launch it?
By a massive TV campaign.
Another masterful edit, 10 out of 10. Best editing at the Oscars, I think this has.
It's all right, lads. It's the ZANUSSI 5-year cover.
Someone clearly got the memo before the rest of the staff. So if you're working in your warehouse, you're pushing your boxes around and all that stuff, then all of a sudden this giant grey brick appears. It says 5 years ZANUSSI cover.
You're like, oh my god, the world's coming to an end, what are we gonna do?
And then your boss is like,
Oh no, it's alright lads, it's just the ZANUSSI 5-year cover that I failed to tell any of you about, do you know what I mean?
How did I do it? Reliability, Colin.
More appliance of science from ZANUSSI.
that doesn't seem to make any sense. So they're saying, oh, the prices are so low, how do they do it? And then ZANUSSI's saying it's the appliance of science.
Excuse me?
And apparently ZANUSSI's a planet that looks very familiar to Saturn, mind you.
That will be seen in 20 million homes at least 5 times starting May the 4th.
But only if they are watching ITV.
But what about people that don't watch television, Doctor?
They will not escape.
Well, that's not threatening at all.
If you do not watch television, you will not escape. I will come for you after my 47th cigarette.
This Boris robot is creepy. Do you know what? This would generally be even scarier if this was a Boris Johnson robot.
Control the virus, go to work, sit in the sun, stay alert. We have a route and we have a plan. Work from home if you can.
This ad will be run during May, June and July in all the national newspapers.
What? What is that?
And will be read by 40 million adults at least 6 times.
How can you quantify this? I always find it weird with these companies. How can they get these stats? Like, you can't guarantee that. Sure, a lot of people, especially back then, read the newspapers, but let me tell you something. They don't read the newspapers necessarily every day. They're not going to read the same newspapers, the newspapers that that's going to be in, especially if you read The Sun.
There'll be dealer ads, leaflets, leaflet dispensers, and lots of point-of-sale material. A leaflet with every machine.
Look at all the money we spent on our advertising. Our budget went into brick-shaped leaflets. We bought money so Doctor Who could be in our advert, and wasted the rest on a pathetic robot.
Make sure your customers understand what the scheme is and how it works.
Yes, robot, exactly. Please, do that. ZANUSSI, tell me, how does this work? How does this actually work beyond you getting Doctor Who to grab my attention and then saying, oh, it's dead cheap, it's the
Appliance of science!
Your commitment to the scheme will sell more appliances now and in the future. That means more profit. Remember, this isn't just a one-off. It's forever.
Thank you, Jon Pertwee. That was very nice, very sincere, very direct and to the point, and more importantly, to the individual who will be watching this.
Doctor, Before you go, one question.
Yes?
Where in the galaxy is ZANUSSI?
A very excellent question. Where is this mysteriously Saturn-like planet of ZANUSSI?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
Come again?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
Show us your... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! He said it! He said the bad word! No! Doctor Who is ruined! We're gonna have to cancel Doctor Who now because he said a very bad word! No, but for real though, was that it? Reason to turn off at the end? That was the reason?
Show us your tits and I'll tell you.
Can we just appreciate how confused that poor woman looks, or how distressed she is? And why does she look up? What's up there? Is she looking to Boris Robot for answers on this?
Control Boris.
So yeah, that is the Jon Pertwee ZANUSSI video, and as you probably guessed, it probably wasn't that big of a deal. It is weird in the sense that it is weird to see Jon Pertwee reprise his role so effortlessly, but to essentially promote this ZANUSSI cover scheme thing. But I mean, the meat and the potatoes, the thing at the end about, you know, he said what he said.
Show us what...
Is that right? No, of course it's not. If you ask a woman to do that in that manner, it's creepy, it's perverted, it's wrong, it's degrading to women. Why was it included in that video? That is a good question. Maybe the TV museum's right that it was the culture at the time. If so, that was a disgusting culture. And I hope to God it doesn't happen on that level now. This was originally just meant to be shown in-house, I guess, at ZANUSSI or at corporate meetings and stuff. This was never shown to the public, so maybe that's why they felt they could get away with it. Yeah, it is wrong, it's disgusting, and it is such a shame to hear Jon Pertwee, the third Doctor, the Doctor who arguably wanted the most emphasis on sort of taking you under his wing, making you feel protected in that family sort of environment. It is a shame to hear him say something like that in the character as the Doctor. Should we cancel him for it? No. I'm not defending that statement. That statement's horrible. But again, like with so many other things that are being called out, it's a piece of history. It's happened. We can't take it away. And if anything, if we are showing this in the future, we need to show it as an example of how not to treat women or how not to address women. But that is all for this installment of Weird Who, and what have we learned? Well, the third Doctor has told us that if we get this cover, our washing machines are going to be pretty spot on for 5 years. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to do more Weird Who videos. There's a lot of Weird Who oddities out there. Some more safe for work, some others not safe for work. But yeah, keep your eyes peeled. There's going to be more Weird Who coming to the channel. Please leave a like on this video if you enjoyed. If you're a Doctor Who fan, there is going to be more Whovian content coming as well. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. Let's keep bumping up that subscriber number. And until the next one, I will see you guys next time.
I think I need some cover for my washing machine, you vicious old queen.
You vicious old queen!
This program has been brought to you in part by our producer-level patrons. With your support, you help keep AMTV running and the programs coming to your screens. Thank you. And that does bring us to the end of another evening here on AMTV. We hope you enjoyed the program, and we hope to see you next time. Good night.